The controversial royal family of Abu Dhabi has a huge fortune behind it, one they really know how to spend. The head of this branch of the royal family is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Colloquially, he is known as MBZ. He is the first president of the UAE and ruler of Abu Dhabi. He alone is worth a pretty huge fortune, one that equals $30 billion. As you'd expect from a former prince turned sheik turned president, he definitely spends as someone from his station should. I think it would be illegal if he didn't own at least one yacht. His is certainly princely, that's for sure. He owns Rabdan, a 240-foot beauty that can handle 14 guests in 7 cabins and 16 crew members in 8 cabins. She can hit 27 knots no problem. It's worth $60 million with an annual upkeep cost of $5 million. That's how they get you. Truthfully, as far as yachts of this caliber go, this one isn't exactly the most impressive. What, no water slides, no golf ranges, no helicopter pads on this bad boy? Just luxury accommodations, a beautiful dining area, and a wine cellar. So this is basically a Best Western compared to some of the other super yachts out there. How embarrassing. As far as private planes go, he's got 2 he can jet around the world on. He's got the favorite enormous jet of billionaires, the $450 million Boeing 747, or the $189 million Boeing 787. Both of these planes are big enough to not only carry everyone in the entire family, but all of their royal entourages as well. All royals have to have a pretty epic entourage nowadays. The royal palace in Abu Dhabi is the legendary Qasr Al Watan, one of the most decadent palaces in the entire world. The construction of the palace was a major undertaking that was completed in 2017 with a $490 million budget. So where did all of that money go? Just take a look at this thing. Every single square foot of this enormous palace is absolutely breathtaking. There's even a priceless chandelier with 350,000 pieces of crystal. It's so ridiculously intricate that it had to be assembled in place. There was no bringing this bad boy in through the front door. The east wing of the palace is known as the House of Knowledge and features several priceless artifacts and religious texts. Then there's the library, which features more than 50,000 books. The western wing is used for official purposes, with spaces for summit meetings, banquets, and supposedly a room just for all the official gifts given to the royal family. As epic as MBZ's spending habits are, they don't have anything on who's known as the Rainbow Sheik. That would be Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan. He is well known for being one of the most eccentric spenders in the world. He certainly can afford to be, seeing as he's got $20 billion behind him. He set that 20 bill towards buying one of the most ridiculous car collections I've ever seen. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, too. So why did the Rainbow Sheik get his strange nickname? Evidently he purchased not 1, not 2, but 7 Mercedes S-Classes to add to his collection. These go for around $20,000. These represented the entire color spectrum, so basically making a big Mercedes rainbow. Has anyone ever had a cooler origin story to a nickname? Definitely not. Aside from his Mercedes Rainbow, the Sheik has one of the most ridiculous car collections ever seen. He owns so many cars that he holds them in a giant pyramid that acts like his own personal museum to his own car glory. That's just next level right there. The Rainbow Sheik has kept his nickname going with a series of rainbow-themed cars. That includes another S-Class that's rainbow-colored, a golden rainbow S-Class, and several other rainbow-colored cars. The man really knows how to build a brand. He's also a big fan of modified cars that look absolutely berserk. He's got an 8-wheeled Nissan Patrol, an unholy monstrosity, and another Mercedes S-Class that was made into a monster truck. for some reason. He's got a big thing for giant-sized vehicles of cars as well. That includes a giant Land Rover, a giant Jeep, and a giant Dodge Power Wagon. Basically, if there's a ridiculous car out there, he's gonna buy it. It's essential for billionaires who want to buy truly ridiculous things to own their own private islands. So it shouldn't come as any shock that the Rainbow Sheik has one of the weirdest private islands money can buy. He built a huge canal using engineers at Abu Dhabi's National Marine Dredging Company. The canals literally spelled out his name, a mile wide and a third of a mile across. Not everyone has their own canal signature in their own private island that's so big that it can be photographed from space. For some reason, this seemed to be too far for even the Rainbow Sheik. Evidently, he got a little embarrassed about this and had his canal signature filled in. Glad to know that there's a line somewhere. I don't even know how much it costs to hire a group of engineers to design your own canal signature. Then, how much it costs to dredge your canal signature and then fill it in once you're embarrassed by it. Weirdly enough, this is a feat of engineering that no one else has really attempted. You'd think that there would be more of a market for that. Of course, my absolute favorite part about covering princes and other royals who have more wealth than most of us could ever imagine is all of the bonkers weird stuff they buy on a daily basis. Luckily for me, this family loves buying the weird stuff. Perhaps the weirdest car in the Rainbow Sheik's collection is his giant motorhome. It actually looks like a giant globe. You take a giant staircase into what looks like the ocean, and inside you are basically treated to the weirdest hotel experience you'd ever have. It has 9 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms on multiple levels. Now, why would you ever want a giant globe motorhome, and how much does it cost? No one knows the answer to any of those questions. He also had the largest caravan ever built just for him. It basically looks like a smaller version of those epic sand crawlers Jawas used in Star Wars, only there's no Mandalorian on the side of it trying to get his ship's armor back. Real shame if you ask me. The royal family also has one hobby that apparently is passed from generation to generation: falconry. For those that don't know, falconry is that thing where you train a falcon to attack on command. Evidently, this is one MBZ used to do with his father. Now, you might not think falcons would be super expensive, and you'd be right for the most part. If you want to add a falcon to your epic bird collection, it could run you just a few hundred to a few grand. If you want a top-of-the-line falconry falcon, those can go for upwards of $250,000. As if that wasn't enough, he also opened his very own falconry school, named after himself, to bring this tradition to new generations, who hopefully can afford it. The royal family is in the big time. They actually cracked the top 5 as the 4th richest royal family of all time. The family has $150 billion behind them. That's more than Jeff Bezos' $120 billion, and absolutely crushes the British royal family's $28 billion. The only families that top them are the royal family of Qatar at number 3 with $335 billion, Kuwait's royal family with $360 billion, and of course, the royal family of Saudi Arabia with their net worth that could pretty much swallow all of the rest of them with $1.4 trillion. Still, being on the same top 5 list with all of these others is nothing to sneeze at. Who knows, maybe they could crack the top 3 one day. If you're a big fan of big HBO lineage dramas like Succession or House of the Dragon, you're in luck. That's because despite the fact that MBZ is in his 60s, he has not actually chosen a successor. The most likely candidates are his brother, Tanan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, or his son, Khaled bin Mohammed Al Nahyan. His brother has got controversies swarming all over him, so my guess is the son is gonna get it. Unfortunately for you, HBO, there's no telling if his brother is a roguish bad boy, or if his son is a wisecracking weirdo. You're gonna have to do your own research on that one. Is this truly the most ridiculously over-the-top royal family out there? Definitely in the top 10.